Hey, what's going on, guys? It's FPL Yusuf here, and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be going over my Game Week 26 transfer plans ahead of this coming Game Week's deadline. We're going to go over how we're currently getting on in Game Week 25 with one more fixture to go. I'm going to go over my transfer plans and the current players that I'm looking to bring in, but also we're going to talk a little bit about the assistant manager chip and maybe who the best manager to move to this Game Week is. And I'll also show you guys an early team reveal of what my team is currently looking like for this coming weekend's deadline. So I hope you guys do enjoy this video, but without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me today on my YouTube channel for another video. Before we get into this one, if you guys wouldn't mind dropping a thumbs up and subscribing down below, it would be greatly appreciated. Okay, Game Week 25. So we are currently pretty much most of the way through. We have one more fixture left, which is obviously the Liverpool and Everton game, which was going to be the double game week. So let's just take a quick look at how we're currently getting on. So we're on 56 points. Obviously, we did take a -4 going into this week, so technically we are on 52. I see a very small red arrow at the time of recording. I'm expecting, with obviously the double fixtures in that second game, to hopefully get a green arrow this week. It's been a little bit of an underwhelming week. We started off Game Week 25 quite good. Obviously Arsenal kept the clean sheet against Leicester, so Timber banked the 6-pointers. Hoyson was on point for keeping a clean sheet, and we were looking like that -4 that we took to bring him in was going to be sort of paid off a little bit. Unfortunately, they did concede to Southampton, so that kind of got wiped out. Pickford also lost his clean sheet as well. So the defence, Milenkovic too, the defence didn't really hold up too well. Midfield a little bit better. Obviously, we got the returns with Mo Salah, which is great. Kluivert did manage to get an assist, so we'll take that. Morgan Rogers was the big disappointment for me. The Ipswich game was the one that I wanted to target, and I wanted to hopefully Aston Villa to do well, but they just didn't play well at all. So he only managed to get the 2 points. Obviously, we do have the second fixture against Liverpool. It's probably not one that you're expecting a lot out of, but sometimes these sort of games surprise us, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. The forward line, Chris Wood, just once again just showing why he's just so crucial right now. And if you saw my transfer target video last week, there was sort of a debate between myself about whether I start Chris Wood or whether I start Brian Mbeumo, and eventually in the end I just decided, if Forest are going to score 95% of the time, it's going to be him who's doing it. So as you see, once again, he just gets that 1 goal, the 3 bonus points, the 9-pointer. It's just, he's such a good asset to own this year. So yeah, really happy with that return. Isak, not really that great from Newcastle, obviously suffering quite a heavy defeat to Man City. So overall, we still have 4 players to go. I'm hoping that Cody Gakpo is going to make an appearance, and there's probably a lot of people out there who don't want him to, because they might have Chris Wood on the bench, or someone as that first sub. But for me personally, I would love it if Gakpo could play this second game. Obviously, Mo Salah, the captain, slot, getting 8 points from the first game. Hopefully, he can couple that up with some more points in the second game. But obviously, as an Arsenal fan, I do kind of want Liverpool to drop points in this one. So a little bit of a contradiction there. But overall, not too bad of a start of the game week. It should, like I said, we should be going into the final game, hopefully after it finishes, on a green arrow. So fingers crossed for that. But we're going to jump into just some key questions now, but also take a look at what transfer plans I've got coming up for this game week. Right, so current transfer plans. So at the time of recording, I only have 1 free transfer. I've got a lot of money in the bank, so I'm not really too worried about making moves. I think the most obvious transfer for me that looks to stand out is to get rid of Morgan Rogers, because one, he's just been so underwhelming since I brought him in, with good fixtures as well. They played Wolves in 24. Obviously, he's blanked against Ipswich in 25 so far. So for me, I think he is my priority. Obviously, he doesn't play in Game Week 29 as well, which is another reason why I kind of want to get rid of him. The player that I'm looking to move him to is Dango from Bournemouth. Now, he did score on the weekend. My plan was to bring him in for this current game week to make that transfer, but obviously the game week got announced that Aston Villa were going to have a double, so it didn't make sense to move Morgan Rogers out before that double game week. So that's the only reason why I've left it a week later. But I think now, once this is done, obviously Aston Villa don't play in game week 29. For me, it just makes sense to move to Dango. I'd save myself a little bit of money, not that I need it, because obviously after game week 26, we get the Arnie slot money back coming back in as well. So money right now isn't really a problem. It's kind of just looking to set up the best, I think, for at least for the short term, for game week 29. The other thing that I'm looking to do this week is a manager change. So obviously, every time you change your manager, it's going to cost you a transfer or a -4. So for me personally, I am sort of 50-50 with this one at the moment. I'm looking at either holding slot and just, it wouldn't be the end of the world if I decide just to make the Rogers to Dango transfer and leave slot there against Man City. It's not the end of the world. Obviously, it's not an ideal fixture, especially the way City just played against Newcastle. But at the end of the day, Liverpool are first for a reason. They are a good team, and they are a very difficult team to beat. So I wouldn't be too upset with him there. I think obviously the upside and the higher ceiling side of me is looking at thinking, okay, what managers have got table bonus for this game week 26? So we do have a few of them. Now, the first one that I'm looking at is Leicester. Now, Leicester are playing Brentford. Obviously, Van Nistelrooy is one of the cheaper managers in the game. So it's high risk, high reward with these type of managers. When you go for table bonus, of course, they're not expected to win the game. That's why they're getting so much extra points if they do win it. However, stranger things have happened, but I just think for me, Leicester, they're not looking really too good at the moment. They didn't really threaten Arsenal that much. I know it is Arsenal, but I just do wonder whether or not it's the right choice. However, with that being said, Brentford haven't been playing too well over the last few weeks. You know, as a Brian and Bremer owner, I know that better than anyone. So I think that there's a possibility that you could go for him. I do like some of the other options a little bit better. Kieran McKenna is one of them. Now, Ipswich are playing Spurs at home. So Spurs obviously did pick up the win yesterday against Manchester United, which means there now is a table bonus on offer if Ipswich do beat Spurs, and Ipswich are at home. I do believe that they beat Spurs in the reverse fixture. So it's one that I can't believe I'm saying it, but I'm actually considering. With Tottenham, you just never know what team's going to turn up. Obviously, they've got a lot of players coming back from injury now. Their keeper's back. You know, Udogie was on the bench. I think they're expecting a few more back before next week. So that's maybe the only thing that kind of puts me off a little bit, even though Ipswich did perform very well against Aston Villa. I do like the Ipswich option more so than I do the Leicester one. But I think the biggest one, or the one that has the most opportunity to win, is Glasner from Crystal Palace. Now, it's worth me saying this game only gets table bonus if Aston Villa lose to Liverpool. So Liverpool have to win their game to make sure that table bonus is still active for game week 26. If it is, you know, I think a lot of us do expect Liverpool just to beat Aston Villa. If that table bonus is active, I do think that Glasner is the best option. I just wonder, is it worth a -4 from moving away from Slot, which I think a lot of people are going to have that decision to make this week about whether they keep him or whether they get rid of him. Obviously, if you've got free transfers in the bank and you've stacked some up, then by all means, fair enough. Target the higher ceiling manager. But I think if you're someone like me who only has one free transfer, isn't really looking to take a minus this week, I do think that it's not the end of the world if you do end up keeping Slot. So there's just a few managers that have sort of a higher ceiling. Obviously, like I said, it is a risk by going there, but they do offer really big table bonus. And, you know, I think a few of them there have actually got quite a decent chance to actually pick that up. Okay, so let's just take a quick little look at what my team is currently looking like before I've made any transfers for game week 26. So we'll start off in goal, Jordan Pickford. Man United really aren't attacking well. You know, it was evident last night against Spurs. They were having shots, but nothing really just looked like it was going to go in. So for me, I'm not actually that bothered about owning Jordan Pickford in goal for this game. I do actually think there's a high chance that Everton do get a clean sheet. They obviously are at Goodison Park, which is always nice to have a team who are playing at home. So yeah, keeper-wise, I'm happy to start off with. The back three makes up of Hoyson, Timber, and Robertson. Obviously, all, again, do have home fixtures. I am expecting, one or two clean sheets from this. I think Timber and Hoyson may be a little bit more likely. Like I said in my previous section, that the Fulham Palace game, I think, could be quite a tricky one. Actually, I could see that being a 1-1 or a 2-1 to someone. I think it will be one of those tight games where both teams they're very similar in some regards. So I think that one will be a little bit more of an etchy game. But I think Robertson does obviously offer the attacking threat, which is kind of why I've got him in there. So yeah, happy with the defense so far. Into the midfield, obviously Morgan Rogers is currently still in here at the time of recording this video, which is Monday morning. Obviously, like I said in my previous section, I am looking to move him to Dango, so that may well end up being a Bournemouth double up with Justin Kluivert against Wolves at home, which again, for me, on paper, is a fantastic fixture, so I'm happy to own both of them. Salah currently has my captaincy armband. I know it's against Manchester City, but with the form he's in, I just can't find anyone else who goes against him. Obviously, we're going to come on to the strikers in a minute, which may be the reason why I'm shying away from them and just leaving it on Salah. Palmer's got Aston Villa. Chelsea haven't been playing good. Aston Villa haven't been playing good. So I don't really know what to expect from that game in such. So I just think I'm going to stay away from the likes of Cole Palmer for the time being. I think in the next few weeks, I'm going to come onto it where I may actually end up looking to move away from him. But that's a topic for a later date. Brian Mbeumo, obviously, on paper, has got the best fixture. Obviously, Leicester away from home. Despite the fact that Brentford are usually better when they are at home, he is an outside captain choice for me. I haven't liked what I've seen from him and from Brentford for the last few weeks, which is why I kind of want to go for the try and tested in Mo Salah. Like I said, the other two options were up front, but obviously Chris Wood and Alexander Isak are playing against each other. Newcastle are at home, Forest are going away. It's a really tricky one because I could see both teams scoring in this game. So I think at the time of recording this video, my captaincy will be on Salah. If I do make a move from Rogers to Dango, maybe there's a chance that I go for Kluivert or Dango as a captaincy. Maybe like a little bit of a differential this week. I think this week, probably out of all the weeks coming up, is maybe the one chance you could get away with not going Salah. But obviously, he's in such good form and is such a fantastic player. It really does make it difficult. So for now, he does have the captaincy armband, but we are going to wait as the week goes on. We'll see what happens with different fixtures, different results. And we'll see what Liverpool are looking like after the Aston Villa game. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below. I will be back tomorrow with an FPL challenge video and later on this week with a final team selection video. Show you guys any transfers that I have made, whether I make a move from Slot to someone else, whether I bring in Dango for Rogers. All of that will be covered in that final team selection video, as well as some key questions and just a little bit more as we get towards that game week 26 deadline. So I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this. If you have, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.